A very warm welcome to Roundtable Talk on Tshwane Talk TV. My name is Frans, Molefe Modise, your host, and I'm joined by an independent political analyst, Mpho Maake. A very warm welcome to you. And in our deliberations this evening, Mpho Maake, we deliberate on the article that you have deposited and entitled "Politics Not for the Not a Simple Game." Yeah. What inspired the title of your article?
Yeah. No, thanks very much, Mr. Modise. Greetings also to viewers. South Africa's situation is very much cumbersome. We are just from downgrade by rating agencies. We are just recovering from COVID-19 pandemic, almost 3 years absence. There's been this plan of economic recovery nationally, which is not seeing any fruition. ESCOM crisis, SOE collapse,
yes,
and bankruptcy. So the mood is really down. And then one is looking at the country. Where are we going? Yes, we know there is war in Russia and Ukraine. The international balance of forces, we are somehow enmeshed in there. But I'm glad with our humanitarian, non-aligned approach. But the fact of the matter is, we also need to look to ourselves inwardly. As a country, as a nation, where are we going? So the article was really inspired by the shenanigans that are going on in our country. We are going to December ANC elective conference. So much was expected from the 2017 Nazareth conference. I must say that not so much has changed. The unity that was there, that decided everything, one can say they gave us a raw deal. That false unity gave us a raw deal.
Yeah.
So the article was inspired by things like that.
Yeah.
Whether if after December 2022, are we seeing a positive South Africa? Are we coming out of those ills, social ills that we have mentioned? We cannot speak much about poverty, unemployment and inequality as such anymore loudly. It's a record that has been overplayed, But now we speak about economic recovery. We speak about fighting corruption and crime. We speak about dealing with the issue of illegal immigrants, dealing with contraband, dealing with mafias, construction mafias. What screws can be tightened? Which side can we turn the nuts and bolts so that our country can emerge from the quagmire? So basically, that's what informed the article.
Are you then saying that we are in a very untenable situation? We are just in a mess.
We are in a quagmire. We are in a very much. People are saying autopilot, others are saying ICU, People are coming with all sorts of terms to explain, the situation the dire situation we find ourselves in. But I would say that if we had agile type of leadership, action-oriented type of leadership, leadership that are running, leadership that are moving, then I can promise you that at least since 2019, when a COVID-19 outbreak attacked, and 2021, when there were signs that it is now going away, I heard today that Johnson & Johnson is going to be approached for South Africa to be excused from that deal, because it would seem that we don't need those vaccination things anymore. Well, I had WHO CEO Gabrata saying no. There are other countries that are still experiencing this. I think he mentioned Ethiopia. It's countries on the Horn of Africa and other areas. I think even in China or Korea, that side of Asia, there are other countries that are still struggling. But for us, we are out of COVID-19. You remember there was a squamor of 500 billion that was given to our country to navigate around COVID-19. But also, there was that solidarity fund, you know. We don't know really what has really happened, why economic recovery is still on the ground. You know, why are we not seeing fundamental changes? We have industrial sites that are dormant. I read somewhere that there is 500 million earmarked for township economy, something like that. But you read those qualifications criteria for SMMEs. How will a young person who has never been involved in any business be able to meet those criteria or a collateral
demand?
Yes.
Yeah, prerequisites.
You know, so it's really, it's like what we are speaking, Mr. Modise, does not agree with what we are doing. The right hand does not know what the left hand is doing. Hence, we had even SAA, there were so much rescue plans and what, at the end of the day, it was defunct, it was liquidated. How many other SOEs, Mr. Modise, that are going to go the same route? You have strike in Transnet, people want 13%, others saying no, but it's too much, 4 to 5% increase is fine. But that's our country. We need agile leadership.
You know, speaking of agile leadership, someone said that a failure of leadership can be attributed to a lack of imagination. So are you saying that our leaders don't have that, are not visionary, like imagination?
It's like they live in their own island, they live in their own world. Another saying they says, no man is an island entire unto themselves or to oneself. You know, you live with people, you live among people. Don't think of us only when you campaign. Don't think of the masses or communities only when you want votes. After they vote for you, that better life for all becomes better life for us only. George Orwell, Animal Farm. So I think what they are speaking and what they are doing does not correlate. There is that disjuncture between the middle class, between the rulers, ruling elite, and the masses on the ground. Poverty is intensifying on the ground, and then opulence is intensifying at the upper echelons. And the BEE class is the one that you can see is trying to navigate. And believe you me, South Africa does not have such an affluent middle class. Most of our people, they live on debt. Most of what they have, they don't really own. You know, they are sleeping, watching which car is stopping on my house. Is the bond paid, you know? So that is why there are so much strikes everywhere. And so people who don't understand will say 13% demand is too much. They have said 12,500 was too much, you know? But if you analyze South African society and you look at the working class per se of this country, don't be fooled by the Mercedes-Benzes that people drive around, you know. Those are debts. That's why people now quickly rush for contracts within government. That's why people run for this, let me go and get something there, because at least it's a hard cash that I can get and I'll go out of debts, and you know. But at the end of the day, truth of the matter is, people are saying we are on autopilot. So we need a captain who can take us from autopilot, not the captain of the Mendy who will sink us.
Speaking of the captain, we have seen the establishment of new political parties. Your Action SA, your OSA, ATM, and so on. Patriotic Alliance. PA, Patriotic Alliance. And you know, your Al Jamas and so on. Now, being established, would you say these parties, have they successfully managed to define who are they and what do they stand for successfully, and or would they, or are they, do they still have an identity crisis? Case in point, what happened in the Johannesburg metropolitan, and since then we have seen Action SA. They have gone on a soul searching. Your take on that?
Remember, there was this post-ANC narrative. Immediately after 2021 local government elections. There was this post-ANC narrative. But it looks like...
Some have said, no, the DA was just going through an early ejaculation.
Political masturbation. Yes, we know those terms. Those of us who cut our political tooth amongst these liberation movement parties. No, look, Mr. Modise, thank you for that joke. It's a very wonderful one. Look, there was that post-ANC notion or narrative that has been thrown in. But it was not just a post-ANC jargon or narrative. It looked like the 2021 local government elections were saying something about the forthcoming 2024 general elections. But it looks like the writers of the script did not do the research very well because it ran out of steam. Now you have coalition government. People thought that they will remove an established, dedicated political party in power, in government, through coalitions. That cannot be sustainable. Coalitions, by their nature, they are not principled by their nature. They represent certain individual interests. Imagine a party leader. You've asked about newly formed parties. Let me just mention Action SA. You listen to Bowman, you listen to Herman Marshall. You realize that the two leaders are not speaking same language. What is the issue? Personalities. What is the issue? Egos. And it's not only in Action SA, but I take out Action SA as a typical example because this is something interesting. Herman Mashaba says, as a leader and founder and president, I will not work with the ANC. Never. It's non-negotiable. Then they ask him, no, but your other colleagues have been meeting ANC. They approached the ANC. They've been speaking about coalition. What are you going to do then? Will you then say, okay, it's fine or what? He said, no, I would rather resign from the party that I've established. So you can see that you need political education. You do not need Johnny come-lates or newcomers who want to remove people who are seasoned. Like it or not, the PAC, ANC, they are the ones that have carried this country's torch of liberation. Whether if it was successful or not, that's a debate for another day. The Black Consciousness Movement will tell you, no, we were given birth from the PAC and the ANC, that lull, So the question that you and me are now dealing with, since the Biko era, the Sobukwe era, the Mandela era, has there emerged any other actor, political actor or player? Or are we still using similar slogans that were coined during the 1960 to the 1990 period? But I would boldly say to you that we are stagnant. It looks like we need new leadership with new vision that can take South Africa forward. As for these new kids on the block, I think they're still leaning the ropes. Maybe let us give them time and chance. Al Jama has been there. It's a ATM that is new, but parties like ATM. If you do your thorough analysis, you find that these are factional parties. It's like EFF. EFF came with a lot of fire, but it looks like it is running out of steam because ever since in Gauteng, accession of Panyaza Lesufi, it's like it's translating to the silence and dormancy of EFF. Now it gives rise to that idea of talks of a pact between Malema and Panyaza Lesufi. But because ANC is still trapped, is still entangled in factional battles, there are those that do not want Julius Malema or do not want EFF. Actually, that is why those that are saying talks have already kicked off, they will not mention Malema, they would mention Lord Chibambo, that no, he was actually speaking, not Julius Malema. But why? It's because of personalities rather than principled ideas of a party. So I think coalition parties or new parties are formed out of anger, out of frustration. Remember the Nmazi leaving of black leaders from the DA. Instead of forming one strong bloc, Moses Maimane decides to open his own. Now you have Makashule Ghana who went out. We don't know. We might hear that he's also forming something, or he's joining another group. So you cannot have people who claim to have similar common vision, similar interests, but yet cannot work together. They work in silos.
Let's go back a little bit to Herman Mashaba. His statement that he rather, step aside from Action SA. Do you think does that, give a signal that perhaps it's time for him to resign from politics? Is he preparing a resignation letter?
Yeah, it could signal that, because when he was pushed to a corner to explain what did he mean by that, then he said, no, I will not stand on front of what people want. We are going to a consultation. He said, let's say that in that consultation, people's consultation, if they say, as people who vote Action SA, we want to have an alliance or a working together with the ANC, they ask him, what are you going to do? And he said they will rather resign. So, but that clearly tells you there are certain people, Mr. Modise, they are not political animals. Cyril Ramaphosa is not only a business person. He is also...
Just maybe before you venture into deep into that point, when Herman Mashaba started Action SA, there were talks that he actually is sponsored by the very same DA just to steal votes away from the ANC, or to pursue other missions of the Democratic Alliance.
Yeah, within black communities.
Within black communities.
Yeah.
Now that there is this not seeing eye to eye with the DA.
Yeah. Like the mission failed.
Yeah, the mission failed.
Yes.
Now, it also gives credence to that assumption.
Yeah, that maybe they've reached the ceiling now. There's no more purpose, no more role.
Yeah.
No, that really makes sense.
The funders say, no.
This project has failed. We are withdrawing.
Yeah, you are just another Rampela.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, that's true. Remember Akhang SA, remember 0% political parties.
Yeah.
Look, the only difference with these new ones and the older ones like Azapo, PAC, is that those ones, older Liberation Party parties, are losing significant, they are losing support.
Yeah.
They cannot attract voters. They do not appeal to youth of today, to the current voters who seem to be tired with liberation politics. They want governing politics. Mr. Modise, I will tell you right now, the issue is whether if you are a service delivery orientated organization, you are a service delivery orientated group or movement. That is why today you have Forum for Service Delivery, and they can garner votes. But the question is, do they have a political direction? You cannot look for a political mandate from people who do not have political pedigree. That is why you need a party, a governing party, or at least a politician, a person who understands society. Politicians are not administrators. Politicians are not bureaucrats. Politicians, their role is to chart the way forward, give direction, to build societies, to give direction to a society. So you need the ANC that will go back to the drawing board about perhaps in 2022 December and say, but what are we? Are we still in that liberation cause that we have started many years ago, or have we just succumbed to becoming a governing party that is dealing with service delivery? Then if it's like that, then the ANC must admit, or it will look like any other service delivery or oriented agent, But if it still takes itself serious as a liberation party, as a liberation movement, then the ANC will go back to the Freedom Charter. Then the ANC will go back to the National Democratic Revolution promises and say, but no, we said we want to liberate the masses. We want to take them out of poverty, not the few people. So hence I say this question is good because it separates boys from men. Yeah, it shows you who has identity crisis. Maybe the bigger political movements as well need to self-reflect. That is why organizational renewal and unity. I think it's the 2012
discussion document.
Yes, you know, that document, if you look at it, it wanted to question society. It wanted to question ANC on its reflection to society. Since 1994, where are we? Are we in the first phase of a democratic transition of building an ethical, capable developmental state? If so, then what about the promises of the NGR? You know, and what about Freedom Charter? That issue of the land shall belong to the people, shared equitably amongst them, resources of the state. So such things, those are liberation ideals. So, but with these other parties, there is no such. They don't have a political pedigree. They don't have a political solvi. They do not have a political stomach, strategies and tactics. You know, they don't have that. What they know is that they can train few people who will be put as agents in the bureaucracy and give services. So it's like they are agents that can be rented. We rent them through our votes and they give us services. Their reward probably it will be the salaries, the perks, the contracts that they will get. But with a liberation party, it's totally different. Theirs is to transform and change society fundamentally. We are dealing with the legacy of colonialism, apartheid, and slavery. You need people there in countries like South Africa who understand this background, who understand that, there are three classes. There is the capitalist class, there is the middle class, the bourgeoisie, and there is the working class, and with peasantries. You know, so if you have people who claim that no, we can be just a group, we can be just a agency there that can give you services. Remember that debate around 2012 to in fact say towards Polokwane, and after that there was this issue of get rid of employment agencies.
Your labor brokers.
Those people are giving what? A service. They do not really have a political mandate. So that is why if you look at ANC, certain interventions, they're reluctant to embark on them. Somebody asked me about, but why can't they get rid of cadre deployment? Cadre deployment, if it is done properly, even National Party did cadre deployment. They were developing their own cadres, loyal and dedicated. I think Thabo Mbeki used to call them compatriotic bourgeoisie. You know, that's cadre deployment. You train your own soldiers, you train your own people there, you place them in strategic positions to advance your ideology, to advance your national interest, you know. But now with these other parties, imagine a leader saying, I'm going to Ngala, I'm going to leave, I'm going to Ngala, if you are not doing what I want. So you asked about identity crisis. I would tell you that they need to go back to the drawing board, need to find out who they are. If you are a small fish, you cannot swim with the sharks. If you swim with the sharks, what's happening in Ekurhuleni, in Tshwane, will follow what has happened in Joburg, and you will cry tears. But if you are seasoned, or if you are willing to learn, because if you are an agent of change and you say no, I'm not a shark, but I also can swim, then you will get inside there and you'll roll with the ball, you know, and then you will learn. But in this game, it's not a child's play. You'll be dealt with. You are dealt with. You'll be decisively dealt with. Stand up, shake off the dust, regroup, go back to the drawing board.
Now, in the light of what you have just articulated, what is then at stake for ANC come December conference?
The crisis of this country is really in dire need of a solution. The country needs someone who can take this nation from the situation that it finds itself. So the question is, from 2017 Nazareth conference, what are the mistakes? ANC as a party and a governing party, the party that exists throughout the country. The one thing that many other parties that are arising should not claim is that they can take ANC on pound to pound. You can't, because you only exist in Gauteng. You only exist in
and for that
KZN.
matter, not only in the not in the entire Gauteng.
Yes.
In a particular
area or what, so sporadically. So you need to spread yourself. You need to go back to the drawing board. You need to go and canvas. You need to go and build branches.
Street by street.
You cannot say you are going to do public consultations, national roadshow. We are going to do that. It's like Bafana Bafana or Ama Boko Boko. After winning World Cup or a particular trophy, then they go through it for a display. In politics, there is no such. You must work from the ground. You must have paratroopers. You must have foot soldiers that will go and canvass, do what is called pamphleteering. Educate people on the necessity to become a party member. And that is why ANC is the only party that has almost 200 seats in the National Assembly. You can check everywhere. Local government election results of 2021 will show you that the party with most votes is the ANC. Why? They exist throughout the country, across almost 700 municipalities, if I'm not mistaken. They have a presence. Where are you? Where are you? You have one seat, you want to speak a lot in parliament, and you want to take out a party that has almost 200 seats. Arithmetically, you are dealt with. You are in terms of. That is why even this debate of electoral amendment. Minority parties cannot win it in parliament because they don't have the mass, they don't have the vote. So they must go and campaign, they must go and have members, they must go and grow and build structures. Then that is when they can come and want to take power from the party that has existed for so long. It's not a party with a centenary mental just for talk. No, they've been there, they've been present. Yes, ANC made a lot of mistakes. I would say to you that I was one of the people who were looking and saying, hey, it looks like, yes, we are going through a post-ANC moment. But seeing what we are seeing now, we are backtracking because we can see that there is no stamina to maintain and sustain that moment, the post-ANC movement. In fact, this movement assisted the ANC to regroup and regain power again, and then it's for them to go and consolidate in December, how to win back power and control that was lost. The operative weight is after state capture. What will the ANC do? If the ANC can act on recommendations that came out from the Zondo State Capture Commission and not treat it as a factional weaponized the recommendation instrument, that wants to support the CR 17 to 2022 than to fix the country. You cannot deny that SOEs have collapsed. You cannot deny that there is so much massive corruption. So remove the issue of factions, deal with the issue. Let's play the ball and not play the man. So if the ANC, you asked what is at stake, if they can go to Nazareth in 2022, their eyes fixed on the problem, how to come out of state capture, how to make sure that this does not recur, then I can tell you that whatever that happened in 2021 is going to recur, is going to happen again. We will come back from 2022, enter 2024 general elections as divided as the ANC was before this conference, and in unstable situation of governments as it is right now, where there are coalitions, there are multiple motions of no confidences, there is no stability, there is no progress, there are factions, there is step aside, there is no council step aside. So they need to use this opportunity to regroup and consolidate and decisively take action. They took bold actions to say that people must step aside, but they ran out of steam. You can ask yourself who came with those resolutions, because immediately after 2017, 2018 came. 2019 was just a different year. When people had to implement conference resolution, others did not want. They said that resolution is not like that. So you understand ANC structures, ANC politics. It's high time that they go back there and they go and account to their branches. What happened to 2017 NASREC resolutions? Why were they not implemented? Then it means that the new incoming NEC and its top 6 leadership will have to make sure that they implement 2022 conference resolutions without fear, without favor. But looking at what is happening in provincial conferences, the balance of forces there, I can almost tell you that another 2007-like Polokwane decisive moment is coming. That moment came with a lot of promise. A promise to say we are going to change. We are going to bring ANC back to the people. ANC was centralized. ANC was too was belonged to certain individuals, and the masses were not benefiting anything. We want to change things. We'll bring the leader in 2007 who is a man of the people, the leader who will make sure that everything that you could not get, now you will get. What did that movement produce? State capture. They wasted 9 years. Yes, President Cyril Ramaphosa was part of the wasted 9 years. That's why I said, if they forget the issue of factions and say, what do we do to bring forward? Don't say they wasted 9 years and forget to mention where I was also present. Say they wasted 9 years where I was also present. Then you are owning up as well. You are taking accountability. Then when you come up with a way forward from the new drawing board, then you can move forward in unison as one party, one organization. But the issue of now I did not do anything when there is Glencoe, now I did not do anything when there is 500 billion that was not accounted for, now I did not do anything when very clearly you sealed your own bank statement 2017 CR17 campaign document, so that people cannot see who was funding you, then who's fooling who. So let them go there and say to National Conference, we are here as your leaders. We are saying that we did a mistake.
Do you think with those disgruntlement that you have mentioned, the sealing of bank statements, the claimed wasted 9 years, and other things, do you think is the Congress movement capable though to go into that conference December focused and come out united?
What we have learned about this party for many years, it's one party that surprised us mostly. ANC would have died long time ago. When the first split happened, we speak about when the likes of Bantu Holomisa left ANC, the scandals that they had, We speak about when COPE was formed, It was a really tight contest between former President Jacob Zuma.
We can go as back as your PAC,
yes,
your what?
It's COPE, it's PAC, it's UDM. Now it's EFF. You know, it's ATM. You know, so most of the splits.
Also ATM.
Yeah, it's very clear. We know that the party really takes a lot of influence and backup from Zwanele man.
Zwanele will take an issue with that.
Yeah, even if he can take an issue, it's fine. But it's in the public domain. We are not the only one who have been alluding this. We see and analyze. You know, for us is to give information. If you say we are incorrect, no problem. We'll go back and
prove us wrong.
Verify. Yes, but prove us wrong because we can only show that we've realized that today. There was a question doing rounds in the media. Busisiwe Mukwebani, the suspended PP. There was a question, she was asked, why one of the branches of the ANC have nominated you to be on the, as a part of the secretariat of the ANC. Then she said, no, I'm not a member of ANC. I don't know why they did that, you know. But what I'm trying to show you is that we will always insinuate that so-and-so is in RET because of your posture, because of your mannerism, because of issues that you always defend.
Very interesting nomination.
Yeah, because of, you know, every time when there is, let's take Julius Malema. They call him Commissioner Malema in the JSC. But look at the kind of questions that the Commissioner Malema normally takes. He would go for judges that have dealt with cases of Jacob Zuma. And for some reason, that question will come out from him. You made this ruling. How do you want to take an old man like that one to jail? Are you not ashamed? Are you brave enough to take such an old man to jail? So you can see politicizing that judicial process. You know,
and in the also, you know, undermining it
as well, you know, but also one can say it's a strategy, it's a deployment, you know. So at the end of the day, you and me agree, Mr. Modise, that the shenanigans are there in politics, but at the end of the day, this game is not a game for small mats. This is a game of real people that are committed. And as far as we are taught, in politics, you don't tabula rasa. In politics, there is no such a thing as manna from heaven. Here, you must be schooled, you must be trained, you must be given that workshop. You must be taken through paces. What is a branch? How to do community work. ANC will take you through Masupatsila, all those workshops, you know. In fact, if you look at the constitution of the African National Congress, you are not a member until you have gone through very thorough workshopping, training. You know, you must understand why are you a member of African National Congress. In fact, in most parties that I know, in ASAPO, in the PAC, you cannot be a member if you are not attending political education. You know, you need to have political education. Look at parties like DA. DA, yes, it normally looks for people that have qualifications. I'm told that you have to have a degree. You have to have a master's for you know, some credible qualification for you to be taken serious.
When you are black.
When you are black, because I can see that there are Johnston Hazen. I'm told that he's a matriculant, you know. There is no degree, but he's leading people with masters, PhD, you know. But that is a downside, I would say, for that party. There's no use for you to get people with academic qualifications, but who do not have political savvy, who do not have political experience. Because in this game, you need two. As much as government needs people that have academic and who are suitably qualified, requisite skills. Even in political parties, you need both. You need people who have both academic qualifications, requisite skill, and political education. especially if you are in this game of politics. Otherwise, you will rent and buy masses and mobs. But those masses and mobs, they will disappoint you. You know, they will burn property. They will destroy infrastructure. They will vote without using conscience because they don't understand what they are voting for. They will be bought with money because they are hungry and they are poor. Checkbook politics, brown envelope politics will not leave South Africa political scene today, tomorrow. No, they will remain with us. Remember, we are a so-called developing country.
Yes.
Third world country. Most people are still ravaged by poverty. An opportunity for somebody to drive a Ferrari. You know, people left from the Bundus and they were brought to cities like Gauteng. And a person from a village, you know, then the person got to know that, hey, I can own a plush property in the suburbs. All I have to do is to say, Viva Comrades Bani. Viva Comrades Bani. So it pays, patronage pays, but it pays for people who are not ethical. It pays for people who are not trained politically. It pays for people who betray their own political convictions for money. People that you will call political prostitutes, people that you will call those that are bought, you know, in politics. You cannot sell your conscience. You cannot sell your knowledge. You cannot buy and sell convictions. Political convictions are something, they are like religion. Marx used to say religion is an opium to the masses because he understood that something that you are taught to believe religiously so is something that you are most likely to die for. So in politics, you cannot come there and you don't have convictions, you don't have beliefs. You just come there because you are hungry. This is not an employment agency. Politics is not an employment agency. I want to repeat it. That is why I said service delivery. I suspect it is being misunderstood and is being misused. You come to politics and government mostly to make a contribution, to transform society, to change society, not just to sell your services. No. And that is why bureaucracy in this country is behaving like this, is misbehaving, because most of the bureaucracy, they do not have the political know-how. They don't know that they are there to serve. They are soldiers, they are fighting, they are on the battlefront. If we are fighting against HIV, okay, let's say COVID-19 pandemic, those nurses that have perished, we give them a salute, and those doctors, those health workers, we say you are soldiers on a battlefront. So they must know that when you are in government, you are there to help us to fight and defeat social ills. You are there to help us to fight, to end poverty, to end joblessness, you know, to deal with all these social disadvantages and ills that are permeating our society. You are not there to steal, to chow, and to enter patronage network systems.
And on that note, Maake, let's leave it there, and also say thank you very much for a very informative and thought-provoking engagement as usual. And also let's remind our viewers to subscribe and also to hit the notification button to be notified whenever we drop a new or our latest videos. On that note, thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Modise, and the viewers. Good night.